Okay, wala pa kutan. Akong paunang ning kuha kay na kuan ko kanang di ko makasulti kayo kung may takip. With your permission ha. Basta sir, no problem ka. Dito mag
layo man sir, layo man.
Lagi raman.
So, actually, you may sit down if you want, or ano na mo?
Okay.
So, mayong buntag, ug mayong udto di ay sa atong tanan. So, we're glad to have with us the Commanding General of Philippine Army. As a prelude kanina, nag-iingon ako sa inyo who is our guest, who's with us. And si General Sobejana, we are so thankful na ang pinaka-pinuno namo sa Army is nandito sa atin, sa ato, ug naghatag sa ato og higayon para kung unsa man ang inyong pangutana, hilabi na sa mga national issues, is matubag mismo sa atong Commanding General sa Philippine Army. And also joining him is our Commander's 302nd Brigade, Colonel Leo Peña. Siya ang tag-iya, dinhi ang host sa ato, karon siya ang magpakaon sa inyo kanya.
Importante.
On the left of our guest is Colonel Wilson Ma S. Reyes, representing Major General Eric C. Vinoya, ang commander sa 3rd Infantry Division. So for a start, would like to request si Kinsay Mauna will use the microphone. Nauna na si ano?
Is created out of EO70. An EO70 calls for a whole government or whole of the nation approach. So meaning everybody should take part, not only the people in the government, but also the people in the community. Recognizing that security is a shared responsibility. It's a very good mechanism for convergence.
So people said to me they
Share with you, there are 12 clusters in LCAC. We have the pledge cluster, which the armed forces of the Philippines and the Department of National Defense take the lead. And we have other 11 clusters that are being spearheaded by the different, by the other agencies of the government.
Sir, the last question, sir.
Nobody is above the law, no? We do our job following the rule of law. So whoever violates the law has to suffer the consequence of their actions.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Raid tagging. It was them who it was Juma season who told the public that they are part of the CPP-NPA. So the people should know that there was a speech being done by Juma season long time ago, stipulating among others that the Makabayan blocks are part of the organization, the New People's Army. So I heard consult Juma season, because Juma season was the one telling the public about the affiliation of the Makabayan block sa CPP-NPA. Hindi dapat sa amin.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Last question. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Everybody should be protected. Now that our soldiers and the Philippine National Police are frontliners, so we should be able to preserve them. So we really respect the wisdom of our president, and we are happy about it because among us Filipinos, ang mga sundalo at kapulisan natin ang nagmanang checkpoint, nag-secure ng mga quarantine facilities together with our partners from the medical sector. Well, they are continuously getting setbacks out of our comprehensive security efforts, and with the issuance of EO70, which I mentioned as a good mechanism for convergence, and our partners in the civil government are actively taking their part. I think the downward directions of the CPP-NPA will continue, and we really wanted that the menace of terrorism brought about by the local communist group, the New People's Army in particular, will be eliminated so that we can live harmoniously, peacefully, without any reservations. And if we are able to provide a psychological, peaceful environment, then there will be a lot of investors that will be coming in. So if there are a lot of companies that will be established, then we can significantly create a lot of employment. And if everybody is employed and if everybody earns for a living, that allows them to build their own house, feed their own family, send their children to school, I think wala ka nang hahanapin pa. Bakit ka pa magre-rebelde pa? Masarap mamuhay na tahimik, na wala kang pag-aalinlangan.
So
I'm David Bryan.
It's a very long story. And to cut it short, I got it when I lead a ranger unit in the island province of Basilan during the height or the early, the formative years of the Abu Sayyaf. In 1995, January 13 to be exact, in the tri-boundary of Isabela, Maluso, and Lantawan in the island province of Basilan. We were confronted with an overwhelming strength of the enemy, numbering about 150 as against my strength of only 16, two Kafgu and 16 Rangers. And the battle had lasted for 5 hours with the enemy sustaining casualties. We accounted for 30 dead on their part, and several others were wounded. On my end, I suffered 7 killed and 9 of us were wounded, and I was the one who was with serious wounds. I almost my right arm was almost severed, and I almost lost it, and I almost died even during that ordeal or during that encounter. And with God's grace, I was able to survive, and I was my effort, my bravery, my heroism was recognized by the national leadership, bestowing me with the award of the Medal for Valor.
we have to take last two.
We will not stop until all the front committees, all the guerrilla fronts are dismantled. So our mission really is to get rid of them so that the Negrency will be able to live peacefully and we can pave the way to development.
So with this, sir, can you say that the force...
We are maintaining, I should say, a reasonable amount of force. Huwag naman yung overkill kasi we need the presence of soldiers across the archipelago. Maaring cleared na o hindi, we have to continue our presence to preserve the gains.
Thank you, sir.
Kabalo ka mo, if you understand the dynamics of conflict, actually the armed component of the security problem is just part of it. We have the political dynamic, economic dynamic, religious, socio-cultural, and so on. So we have to address all these things. The intense political rivalry contribute to security. Of course, for lack of economic opportunities also contribute to security. The non-understanding of the socio-cultural sensitivities of our people down there is another thing that contributes to security. Of course, another factor is, or another dynamic is religion. So, these are the things that we are trying to resolve. No? Dito sa atin, dire sa Negros, actually, we are peace-loving, one of the peace-loving Filipinos, the Negrensis. In fact, Dumaguete City is named as the city of gentle people. So, nandyan na yung desire natin to achieve peace, tranquility, and development. So, may mga factors, and in fact, there are even external factors considering the proximity of that island provinces with our neighbors in ASEAN. Their strategy, alam mo, we have a thinking enemy, and I think the public knows that what they are doing is not good for the humanities, no? Dahil sino ba yung gusto mo kapayapaan, yet nagdadala ka ng baril, nagre-recruit ka, and you mislead people. So kung makikita mo from the testimonies of our former rebels and even the parents and relatives, when they were interviewed, talagang naghinakit yung loob nila sa mga taong to na ni-recruit nila itong mga may potential pa sana mga kabataan. So we really need to insulate the youth, which I consider the most vulnerable sector in our society. So kayo in media, I think you are very much aware of what they are doing. Yung mangsunog ka ng mga equipment, implementing flagship projects, government projects, and even private investments, susunugin nila for not admitting or not providing the taxation that they are collecting. So nakakabuti ba yun? In fact, nawala ng trabaho yung mga employees ng mga companies na yon na sinunog nila. Like for example, a construction company. Kung sinunog mo yung bulldozer, yung operator noon mayroong anak, paano na siya mabubuhay? Parang pinatay mo na rin yung pamilya ng operator ng backhoe o bulldozer o grader na yon. And the same manner, you deprive the people from utilizing that infrastructure. Like for example, opening of roads. Di ba ang purpose niyan is for our people in the countryside to bring down their products or agricultural products to the marketplace. So nawalan mo sila ng avenue for them to bring their products to the market para ibenta. So in our normal frame of mind, is it for the good of the humanities or they are just doing it for their personal interest? So yun dapat ang maintindihan ng taong bayan. So it's up for you to think about it. Yung nandyan ngayon na nabiktima lang ng recruitment, mga nami-mislead, our doors are open for them to go back to the mainstream, renew their lives. It's not too late. Huwag kayong maniwala sa propaganda nila na pag ikaw ay sumuko, papatayin ka. I've been in the service for more than 30 years. Pag talagang voluntary ang pag-surrender, he will not experience anything physical. But, well, torture, that's we are not, it's absolute that he will be treated as human beings. I just want to impress that we do our job following the rule of law. And number two, operational imperative that we are following is we do our job giving due respect to human rights, and considering that we are in the profession of arms, we do our job through strict adherence to the international humanitarian law. Even wounded enemies, pag nakita namin na wala siyang kalaban-laban, we have to save him, bring him to the hospital, have him treated. Then pagkatapos, he will undergo psychosocial indoctrination para babalik siya sa mainstream, babalik yung kanyang dating frame of mind. And of course, for our youth, who is, I would say, as what I've said earlier, as the most vulnerable sector, they should be very observant. Kasi yung recruitment nila, hindi yung diretso, you join us. They will do it in a very slow manner. Kukunin yung weaknesses mo, kukunin yung kung saan sila pwedeng manghimasok sa sarili mo din, until such time na you end up with them carrying or bearing arms in the mountains, fighting against the government. And the worst thing is that they will disown their own family. Yung sasabihin na wala kang pakialam, nanay man kita, material nga nanay lang kita, pero mayroon akong sariling desisyon. Napakasakit yun sa isang ina, sa isang ama na marinig sa anak na gano'n ang sinasabi. So nahiwalay na yung relationship between the parents and the children. Na tayong Pilipino, dapat yung family ties talagang napakalakas yan sa atin. Pero itong mga tao na to, they are trying to break that relationship between the parents and the children. So yung family ties, binibreak nila. Which I think nobody wants. Sino ba sa inyong gustong yung anak nyo later on nasa bundok, hawak ang baril, kaysa yung namamasukan sana at naghanap buhay ng marangal?
Sir, good afternoon po. Goyat Kalulot.
With the existing mechanisms and enablers, and with the desire of our national leadership to continuously upgrade our capabilities to find, fix, and finish the enemy as well as exploitation of gains, and of course with a good convergence among stakeholders, I think we can put an end to this problem.
Alright, thank you, sir. And my next question, sir.
Okay, ulit.
In your
Well, we are in a democratic world, no? So we have to leave it to our legislators, no? So I believe on their wisdom. We are just one of the sectors of our society, the security sector. Once a law is enacted, then we will implement it.
Thank you po, sir.
Tayo mamuhay na matiwasay, yung tahimik, mapayapa. We should not fight each other. We are from one nation, we are from one race, and we are a big family. Hindi maganda yung nagkakawatak-watak tayo. Let's remember that divided we fall, united we stand. So we should be competitive as a nation in the ASEAN and across the globe.
Thank you, sir.